what would you classify? I mean, real estate agent, would that be your profession? How would you explain it?
No. I don't want to classify myself as a fucking agent. Here's why. Because a lot of people think I'm a fucking sales guy, which is, I'm very good at sales, whatever it is. But when people ask me what you do for a living, I always tell them real estate acquisitions. Reason why is because I just don't only sell real estate or help clients buy homes. I invest in properties. I also do rehabs. I let people borrow money, right? Like private funding. So I do a bunch of shit, you know what I'm saying? But everything just kind of revolves around real estate. So real estate acquisitions.
Real estate acquisitions. And you've got a really interesting...
And it sounds dope, right?
It does sound dope.
Yeah.
It sounds a little more professional, right?
Yeah,
It sounds
exactly.
a little elite.
It doesn't sound as it's like a slimy, greasy salesman.
Fucking, oh, he's just a realtor. Yeah, whatever.
You gotta ask him what his name is first.
Yeah.
Me and him was going back and forth. I was like, I think his name is this, but I wasn't too sure what your name was.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what the fuck is his name? We're fucking it up. Chuck it. Like, you're gonna chuck it.
Oh, yeah.
Percentage of people that get that right.
If you're Asian, you pretty much hit it dead on the nail. But if you're like a Holly person, like, what the fuck is this?
Well, we're both Asian. We got it wrong.
No, but
You're pretty close.
No, but I was sending him like the other day. I sent him this thing. It was somebody what are you doing? He's like, oh, I bought a house from Chuck It, and then I was like, that's his name. And then he's like, are you sure? And I was like, fuck, I don't know. I'm not too sure.
It's good and bad, but in this industry, right, it's all about marketing, right?
Mhm.
And that's the
Very
world we live in
marketable.
today. So when it comes to real estate, everybody knows who Chuck It is. So it actually worked out.
Yeah.
It's better than like Mike, Chuck,
It's a different-
Bob, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
the common
yeah,
name.
who's Bob or who's Mike? You know what I mean?
So how did you get into the game of real estate?
Very fascinating question. Very simple. So I went from job to job when I got out here. But when I flew out here and I went down the strip, I knew, I was like, yo, this is where the money's being made. All right. So when I landed, first day, got a job, but I quit. I was like, yeah, fuck this job. This is some bullshit job. But I scaled. I went from one job to another, but every job I went to, I was always making more money. Right. Then at one point I was like, you know what? I got to get into sales. So I was like, at that time, I only had probably $4,000. I was like, what can I get into? But I got to learn sales. So I bought a detailing trailer, right? Then I went over to Decatur and 215. There was a company called the Ability Center. Fucking rolled up and I was like, yo, I'll detail your cars for free. The guy was like, what? I was like, yeah. I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I was just fucking practicing with the chemicals and shit, right? And he was like, dude, you're hired. So I was like, all right. He's like, come back Monday. So I had the whole fleet every Monday. But as I was like detailing cars, this is back then when we didn't have iPhones. We had like those MP3 players. You know what I'm talking about? You had to like load up on your fucking little thing.
Walkman type stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I would listen to like podcasts back then. Because
It was still a thing? It was a thing back then?
yeah.
So what year is this?
Dude, this is like 21 years ago, dude. It was a long...
04? What were you listening
Yeah.
to at that time?
So there's this guy, Judson Voss,
Okay.
right? He was out in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he was talking about like subject to like financing and real estate. But then I started like, as I was detailing cars, I was always fascinated like how people actually made money. And what I realized by all these interviews and all these like podcasts I would listen to, it was real estate. Like no matter what they owned, they always had real estate. And that's how I got, really fascinated with it. And I ran across this guy, Judson Voss. And he was charging like $3,000-4,000, right? Just to like shadow him. So I was like, fuck it. I went out to Charlotte, North Carolina for 3 days. And I was like, okay, all right, what the fuck is he doing? So he was showing me everything. And I go back to Vegas with like a book, a bunch of shit that I never read. And I was like, what the fuck? What a waste of fucking time. And at this point, I've already accumulated some money. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go try to get a house. But this is during, I think like 2007 or 8, where the market was just still hot. So I started looking at like homes. And I remember I went into this condo. I think it was like off of Green Valley. And I walked in. They had probably like 20 or 40 like business cards of all realtors. Because when a realtor shows a home, you leave a card, right? And I looked at it, I'm like, wait, this is not making any sense for a condo and what these guys are paying for. And I felt like, you know what? Right now is not the time to buy. Market crash. And I was like, okay, I think now it's time to get into the game. Then I bought my first my first property, and I was telling the agent at that time, I was like, "Yo, I want to get into real estate, like investing and shit like that." He's like, "Why don't you become an agent?" So I was like, "All right." I figure if I become an agent, I have all the tools in place, but all the shit that I learned about investing, I can implement. So when the market crashed, I became an agent. And this is when we had like over 18,000 homes on the market at that time. And you could have bought a home for like $60,000.
I remember that.
So like my fucking commission checks, like after all the fees and paying for everybody, you know what I mean, all the mentorships and shit, I was probably making like $1,000 a deal. But I didn't care. And the reason why I didn't care was because I was like, I'm in the game. I'm learning this thing. But then what happened was I connected with investors. And they're like, yo, find me some properties. So I was like, all right. So I was finding these guys like properties, putting them under contract, you know, doing the rentals for them. And I'm spending their money, but learning the process as we're going along. So after that, I started stacking money. I bought one, then bought 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And rest is history, bro.
So the first property you bought, was it intended to be an investment property?
Yeah, so the first property I bought was my primary residence. So I utilized an FHA loan because it was only 3.5% down at that time. And Obama was the president. And he had this thing where you get a credit of $8,000, right? Towards the house. It was all bullshit, which is you got the $8,000, but you had to pay it back in fucking taxes. So you didn't get the fucking $8,000, right?
Yeah.
But I still live in that property till this day, right? But after I got that property, I realized I need to get more. But again, you got to understand, back then you didn't make as much as you do now. You know what I'm saying? So now you can accumulate cash a lot faster. Because that's the name of the game now. You got to catch up with inflation. It's not about just having investment properties, because you can leverage out your money and play the game. But if you're only making fucking $300 a fucking month, dude, you're not a real investor. You have 10 properties, that's only $3,000. Right? And you're leveraging out like 200,000, 300K. I could take 200, 300K, leverage that out, and I can make a higher return faster. So you just got to play the game.
Yeah, but even at that, your mindset was, because I remember when I moved here, like when the market crashes, like the common person backs off of the throttle, right?
Yeah, which is the dumbest fucking thing.
But coming from Hawaii, like we kind of learn the conservative route, right?
Not only local people, that's everybody.
But like, what was the mindset going into it? Like, how did you believe in it that much that you stepped on the gas and said fuck it?
Dude, if you run the numbers, if you could buy,
because I know what you mean, because I bought my houses like 12 years ago.
Yeah,
and the only regret I have is not buying more.
You got to think about this. If you're looking at a house that is 2,800 square feet for $70,000, how much do you think it actually costs to build that thing?
Around probably
more than
that, yeah.
Almost double,
probably. So that answers your question right there. So you're saying I could buy this home that just got foreclosed on and is only 2 years old. I know construction costs, it costs a lot more. That was the best time to buy. Unfortunately, those times are gone.
Yeah. That's what happened with my houses. Like I bought my 3-bedroom for $140. Yeah. And then my parents came up because I was remodeling it. And then we was like going through the house, and I was like, "Fuck, this house is too small. If everybody comes and visit." Yeah. So I told my dad, like, "Hey, let's go look around. Maybe there's another house around here." Then one street up in the cul-de-sac was the 5-bedroom, and then I locked it in at $220. Great. And now I'm kind of like, and it's like RV parking both sides, swimming pool. But now I look back, I was like, "Fuck, I should have just put myself into debt and bought everything I could."
I think we all would have thought that, but you also got to look at the time of your life during that time period. It's how much money you have to play the game. Because if you only had $100,000 at that time, you can only buy so much properties. But there was guys that I were working with, they had millions of dollars where we bought like 80 fucking homes. Like now, they're just like a whole nother level. You know what I mean? So you got to think about the time period, how much money you have, where you are at with your financing at that time. And it's the name of the game is what you do with your money. Because now we're in a society today, you got to compound quick. Because you got inflation that's 6, 7, 8%. I mean, everything is so high. So by just leaving your money in a CD, making 6, 7%, dude, you're just breaking even. Like, if you got money in the bank right now, you are literally losing money towards inflation. You got $2 million, you're probably losing $140,000 a year. The stuff that you could have bought back then, you can't buy now. You know what I'm saying?
So with that, the loan you end up taking out, that FHA loan, did you end up refinancing that like in 2020 or something?
Oh, yeah, you got to play the fucking game, bro.
Yeah.
So this is the game. So if you don't have any money, right, you start off with the FHA. And my rates at that time was probably like 5.2. So I lived in the home for like a little bit. That shit came down to like 3.2. I refinanced it and refinanced it into a different loan. Got rid of the FHA, went into a conventional at 3.2. And now I can tell you this. The interest rate that you currently have right now, if it is below 3.5%, that interest rate for your home is worth more value than your home. Because you'll never get that interest rate again. Because once you sell that house, that interest rate that you had is gone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's a weird position I'm in because I've got like a 2.25 rate or something. And on the other hand, I've got maybe like 200 something grand equity in my home.
See, that wouldn't be worth it. The only time it would be worth it is this. You got to do the math. So I had a property. I think at that time I bought it for like $60,000. It was probably worth like, I think $350 or something, but I needed to put some work into it. Tenants moved out, right? So it was, do I just sell it the way it is, have another investor deal with it instead of me dealing with the headache and leaving some meat on the bone where the investor is going to make some money? Then I take the $100,000. I didn't have to do anything, right? Because when I bought the property, the owners were the original owner. During the crash, they fucked up, so we did a short sale. So I said, hey, we'll do a short sale on this property. I'll let you stay. You just pay me rent.
For people that don't know what is a short sale.
So basically,
for the people that don't know.
So basically what a short sale is.
It's not a short sale. It's better than foreclosure.
Yes, that is correct. So typically before you go into foreclosure, you probably work with a sales agent, right? And you sell your home for a lower amount, right? Based upon the current market value. And you go back to the bank and say, hey, look, we have a buyer in tow. Instead of foreclosing on this home, it's going to cost you a lot more to file for foreclosure versus us just selling it and you're taking your profits. And normally what we do for our clients is a non-pursuant of deficiency, which means if you owed $500,000 on the home, but now the home is only worth $100,000, if you actually sold the home, you still owe the bank $400K. But if we do a non-pursuant of deficiency, that means we negotiate with the bank, say, hey, my seller is going to sell it for $100,000, but that $400K, you're going to just wash it and just walk away. So that's the most important part. So that's what we did with this client, right? But she had nowhere to go because now her credit sucks. She can't rent a place. Hey, you could just rent it from me. So back then, my mortgage on that home was it's like $300, and I rented it out for $900. They're like, oh, that's great, because they were paying like $1,800. You know what I mean? And the home was trash anyway. So they stayed in the home, and when they were like 2 years later, 3 years later, they're like, hey, we're going to move out. All right, well, thanks for the notice. And that's where I did the math and said, look, is it worth me to pay the taxes on $100K? Because I know I can take $100K and I could flip it very quickly. So that's what I did. Took that money, reinvest, flipped it, got my money back, and just repeat the process.
That's what everybody went through. There's a lot of short sales like that 10, 12 years ago, right? Because people are buying the houses that really high and the market crashed, and then their houses were worth less than half the value that they bought it at, right? And they're paying a mortgage of a house that's worth $500,000, and the bank saying it's only worth or whatever, like $200,000 or whatever.
Now, Justin, going back to your case. So if you have an interest rate at 2.5, like I said, that's the most valuable thing. But now, I take it you're on a VA on that deal, right?
Yeah.
Which is great because there's no PMI, lowest rate. That's actually really good. Now, if you know it's worth $200,000, you want to get into the game. Obviously, you don't want to sell that home. You want to keep that home. So there's a couple things that you can do. You could do a HELOC, right? Take that money out. You don't have to pay the capital gains or anything or taxes on it. You take that $200,000, reinvest into the marketplace. But depending on what you invest in, right? Whatever asset class, you just need to make sure it covers that interest rate that the money that you pulled out. Right? So that's the name of the game.
What would a realistic scenario look like? I mean, in terms of like finding a deal like that.
Finding the deals are very hard. So like a lot of people, they try to get into the investment game and they realize really quickly like this is a lot harder and they lose their fucking shirt.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest part in investing is finding the deal. So like, let me give you an example. So there was one deal I found was like 6,000 square foot. I'm doing a rehab right now. I bought it for 1.125 or 150. I don't know what it is. We're putting about 450 into it, but I'll sell it for like 2.3, 2.4. So those are the big wins, but they're very hard to find, right? So I got another one that we just bought last week. It's 1,400 square feet and age restricted. But because of social media, a lot of my followers, they're like, yo, I got a property. You want to buy it? They could not spend the money to do the rehab. But as long as you're straight up front with these people, like, hey, I'm in the business of making money. I can help you out and get you what you want. But I need to make some money off this deal because of my time. So we bought the property for like, I think $339. We're only putting $50K into it, but it's worth $500. So it's an easy, quick $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the turnaround on this is 65 days. Like that's how fast we're moving it. So that's the name of the game. It's taking your money, leveraging your money, and you're just trying to compound it fast as you can. But then there will be a point where you got $10 million liquid. Now it's like, what do you do with, $10 million, right? Maybe buy an apartment complex, because that's a whole different game. Because when you get into apartment complex investing, what happens is this: you can force the appreciation. Now you're like running a business. So when you raise the rates of the rents, now you're forcing the appreciation of the value of that apartment complex versus a house. A house is only worth what it appraises at that time.
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
So is that something that you're working towards, like that multifamily, those structures and those deals?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I did fly out to Charlotte, North Carolina. I looked at a 48 unit apartment complex. We almost got that deal. The numbers are close, but not close enough, because I know on the commercial side, a lot of loans are coming due, because a lot of these loans are 3, 5, 7 year notes. They're not like a 30-year traditional. So what happened was a lot of these investors borrowed a lot of money from private funding, and the market was just going strong. So they dumped all their money into these type of deals, even the cap rates, which means what you're making off it, like 3%, let's just say cap rate of 3%. For me, it didn't make any sense, right? Because I want to make sure I make a certain percentage of every single deal. Now there's deals where I'll turn them down because it ain't worth my time. It ain't worth my money of leveraging that money. Because in the investment game, you always have to have capital. You always have to have cash just sitting, just idling, waiting. Because when a great deal comes, you got to move quick. Because if you don't have the capabilities to move quick, then you're done. So.
And so, can you tell people a little bit about how you started here in Vegas? Because you were born and raised in Hawaii too, right? Or at least raised in Hawaii.
I was raised in Hawaii, so originally from Thailand, but I moved to Hawaii at the age of 3. And lived in low-income housing, Red Hill. I'm sure you guys know you know where that's at, right? So, just doing all the regular shit, like local people do, fucking drugs. Fucking pot too, you know what I'm talking about? Back in the day and shit. Anyway, so I moved up here 21. And that's where we go back to that story. Like when I was driving down the strip, I knew like, yo, this is where the fucking money's made. Because at back home, you already know. You got to know somebody. I got friends that are working like Home Depot to manager, and they're like, yo, this is big. I'm like, that shit ain't big, bro. You know what I mean? Not to knock people that are a manager at fucking Home Depot, McDonald's, whatever. That's great, but that's not who I am, right? Because I know that there's more out there. And the only way to get it is you got to go to those metropolitan areas. And I already knew Vegas was such a growing city. Population at that time was only like 1.3. Now we're about like 2.6, 2.8. It's crazy how fast the city's growing.
Even just construction wise,
Oh yeah, dude.
it's crazy.
Wherever you go, I mean, the 215, it's all jammed up.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm
I
worried
remember when
about
there was,
is,
I remember when there was no traffic in Vegas.
oh yeah.
15 never had traffic.
But you know what's crazy is I got clients from California.
Oh, this is perfect for them.
I'll fucking drive. I'm like, yeah, fucking traffic. You're like, yo, bro, this ain't traffic.
No,
You
yeah.
tripping.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? You're right. Because if you go to Hawaii, obviously,
Oh yeah.
like people actually get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like I talk to friends from Eva Beach.
They're going to work at 4
Yeah, like Kailua or
to
something.
start at 8.
I'm like,
Fucking
dude,
crazy,
to go
bro.
sit in traffic? Like, bro, no, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
That's not a life, dude. But
But this whole city, it just evolved so quick.
yeah,
Do you think we're headed for something like an LA in terms of our traffic and the congestion?
oh, here's the thing, and this is what I'm gonna tell you guys right now. Get as many assets as you can, because what's gonna happen is we only have so much land because the Bureau of Land Management owns about 80% of the land.
A lot of
The
government
federal government is not releasing it to the city.
land.
Okay. But if you take a look from one end to the other end of the mountain is only 36 miles. Once this whole place is built out, okay, if you're not in the valley, or if you're not in the southwest, or if you're not close to the junctions of the 215 or the 15, bro, home pricing is going to skyrocket. It's going to be California and Hawaii prices. I guarantee it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
But we're
right?
looking at another 15, 20 years
Yeah.
from
Do you
now.
think it's going to be that far out? Especially with like all the deals that just went down, like the
Baseball,
movie studios
basketball.
and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Universal Studios.
It will, because we still have a lot of dirt left. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
But also the city's very smart too as well. Because if you look at the city, when they get the land from the Bureau of Land Management, they don't just automatically release it to a builder.
Mm-hmm.
You got to bid on that shit.
Mm-hmm. It takes years.
But the question is, why do they do that? Right? Because of supply and demand. If you keep that demand restricted, everything goes up on
yeah.
price. That's just the laws of physics. So that's how they're playing the
Similar
game.
to diamonds,
Exactly.
right?
It's ridiculous.
And so, like, is there an estimated amount of what, like, the leftover spaces in terms of available housing, available units, homes, available room to be built?
That, I didn't run the numbers, so I can't answer that question. I don't know. But as far as for population growth, I think we could hit about 3.6. After that, I think we're done.
Really?
Yes. Because now it's basically you're building on the outskirts of the valley. And we're already starting to see that.
Yeah. It's
You know,
far
Kyle
as fuck.
Canyon?
Yeah, it's far
Like,
as fuck.
Bro,
Or it's not technically it's not far, but it's far.
well, you're right. It's not far for certain people,
Yeah.
but for us, because you got to understand the way that the city was built, we live in a metropolitan area. It's all about convenience, right? Dude, I ain't driving out there for 42 minutes, bro.
Yeah. I have friends that invite me to their houses and I map it like 40 minutes. I say, I ain't fucking coming. I ain't going.
Yeah.
You
It's
guys
like,
can you
it
guys can
ain't
over
worth
here.
it.
All of us live on this side. You come over here. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, I ain't driving out there.
I drive from my house on Southwest on Blue Diamond to my taco shop in Henderson. It's 35 minutes, 40 minutes without traffic.
Wait, you got a taco shop?
Yeah, I got a taco shop.
What's the name of this taco shop?
So I own it with, Vegas Pauly C.
Okay.
A big influencer in town. We own a shop together, Tacos
Yeah.
Pauly C.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. You know what? I think I seen a couple things on IG that he was posting about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you connected with him? Now, this is more fascinating.
From the
Podcasting.
From the podcast.
Yeah, we did a few interviews together and we just kind of kicked it off and then we just started doing business together. I started managing him and helping him with like business deals, scripting his content and stuff like
everything. But it was like Justin, you gotta tell him the whole story. Justin's like, bro, I'm doing podcast. I said, bro, you're more than a podcaster, bro. Like, you're a sales because he was a salesman at Kia before.
that. Yeah, that's
I was like,
kind
you're
of
a
how I started
salesman.
making my money at first.
Like, be around him, like,
Yeah.
see what kind of deals you can work. You know what I mean? And then now Justin's like this taco shop owner, manager. So he kind of like went from I'm just a podcaster into like a
Nice.
manager.
True entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could say so. Yeah, it's
Okay.
starting to look like that.
So the question is, why don't you have a taco shop next door?
It's in the future. We've got future
Yeah.
plans. We've got future plans.
The hardest part about this spot is there's no grease traps.
Well, can't you build one out?
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's just probably not cost effective, obviously.
Like 30.
Yeah. As we, because he was with, they had invested with this family that had made some really good tacos as well.
Yeah.
But they ended up screwing him over. They just locked him out of the shop, sold all the equipment, moved to another location, opened up a new LLC, took the rest of the equipment, and so we kind of ended up having to start from scratch, inherited like a bad lease, and it's deep in Henderson by like the water district. So as long as we keep building our reputation there, I think it could be fruitful. It looks like it will be.
Especially with social media nowadays.
exactly.
That would
No,
help it out.
that was one of the biggest things I told Justin when I told him, oh, I got this homie that stops by the shop, realtor in Vegas. He comes from Hawaii. But I told him the biggest difference I seen, because I have a lot of realtor friends too, but I was like, the biggest difference I seen is your social media and how you put yourself out there, that you don't seem as much as of a salesman.
Yeah.
And then what I would send when I sent him like some of the videos is it's more like more personable, you know?
Yeah.
Like day to day kind of stuff.
Yeah, especially your YouTube presence.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of like the whole thought process behind it, right? But obviously, you got to figure it out when you're looking at the algorithm. You got to see what consumers are looking for, what they want, and you got to figure all that shit out, right? Look, at the end of the day, I make good money. I'm very blessed. I could care less if we do a deal or not. At the end of the day, it's about building a relationship through video content. And the question is, how do you do that, right? So there's like certain things that I'll say or do to get some sort of interaction. But also as we're walking through, we just hanging out, talking shit.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, we also want to educate people too as well. Because when I first started the business, I'm going to tell you this, man. I was the guy with the suit tie. Went out, bought a BMW. Felt like a car sales guy. And I was just selling. And it worked. But as you build your confidence and you're getting good at what you do, you start to realize, like, you know what? This ain't me. Right? I'm just going to be who I am. If you like me, let's do business. Because I'm already good at what I do. If not, I'm not the right guy for you. And there's times where I thought somebody was a good fit, but I end up firing them. But what's crazy is when you fire them, they always end up coming back because they realize, like, oh, I should have listened to you. Right? And there's a time where I had a buyer, $3 million. You know, $3 million pays $90,000 on a transaction. And I told him, go fuck himself. You don't trust me. You don't trust the process. Trying to micromanage and try to tell me how to do this as you're trying to figure it out on your own. Guy came back, was like, yo, should have listened to you. All right, this is how we're going to do it. And we put the deal together. But sometimes you got to take it that far. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is.
And so you're talking about hiring and firing. I imagine it does take quite a team to run the operation that you do.
Oh, yeah. There's no way to do like 130 to 150 transactions a year, bro. That's like a deal every 2 to 3 days. There's no way. And a lot of people think that I just go show a home and that's it. There's so much behind the scenes that people are not aware about, right? So when you put a deal together, there's a lot of people involved. And then you got to research the home. You got to see what's attached to the home. If some stuff comes up, how do we transfer title over from one buyer or a seller to a buyer free and clear? There's always problems in a transaction. It's how you resolve the problem, right? That's the valuable part. And people don't see that. They just see, hey, we go look at a home, write an offer, we're moving into the home. That's the thing. Now, there are some transactions that are a little bit easy.
Yeah.
But there are some transactions out there that are very complicated. You got like liens and litigations on it. How do you free and clear this up, right? You may have a construction defect. Who is the attorney? Now I got to go chase down this attorney, right? Short sales is a whole nother ball game. If you deal with the bank or bank-owned property, that's a whole nother ball game. So there's a lot of moving parts.
So where do you think's the hottest place to buy a home in Las Vegas right now?
Everybody says Summerlin, but I fucking hate Summerlin.
Oh my god, I don't like
That's just too
Summerlin.
bougie for me.
Yeah.
I don't like how it's set up, the small
Yes.
lots
Yeah.
and
It's almost like I feel like you're in Kapolei. Like everything's close.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's just, I feel like a lot of people try to get into Summerlin, and it's just like you buy like a house that's like 2,200 square feet and you're paying like $800K. And, you know, your wall setback is like 5 by 5 on each side. Your setback of your house is only like less than like 10 feet. Bro, that's not living, bro. That's like cubbyhole living. That ain't for me. Like, I don't see that. And, you know, I've got a lot of friends that, you know, work for Metro. And this is what they tell me. They fucking hate working in Summerlin. There's too much people complaining. And they got to take all these calls for stupid shit.
Bro, even when you go to the fucking mall over there, bro, everybody's walking their dogs and Starbucks in hand. Hella bougie over there.
See, I'm like Meadows Mall, Galleria Mall. That's me right there. I'll blend right in. You know what I mean?
what is this, the Antique Mall of America?
Yeah, this is the antique mall. We like an antique mall. we got a coffee shop. Bro, the first day they opened, the first day they opened, everybody's from the Manhattans was walking over with their dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, this is what it's all about right here. This place is gonna be cracking pretty soon.
Hey, they still got that Subway on the corner?
No, that's the coffee shop now.
Oh, that's the
My
coffee
My
shop
friend's
now.
coffee shop.
Bro, you know what's crazy? In real estate, especially commercial, you got dead zones. This is a dead zone.
Is it?
This is what we call a dead zone.
Why is that?
Because there's really not too much traffic. And for this type of complex, right, you have to know a business here,
come
or
here.
you have to go online, or you have to follow some sort of business, or you need to find a product that you like, and you got to know where it's at. So this is not like in the best location, even though it is on the Las Vegas Strip. Now, maybe another 20 more years when they start building down that way, then you're going to have more traffic coming, then you'll be fine.
My whole goal is I'll just create my own foot traffic here.
Well, that's what you need to do,
Yeah.
right? Every single business, right?
And that's like the power of your social media, right? That's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like the whole purpose of being here,
Like,
being able to drive them here.
Yeah, because I had another shop. My other shop was on Las Vegas Boulevard, Windmill. At Starbucks, Smith's was all,
Yeah.
all KFC was Popeyes was all in one spot.
Is that a food court? What's going on?
No, it was like Chase Bank. We was all
Yeah.
in a popular little mall, you know. So,
but that's a higher density
Yeah.
because if you look, that's what Windmill and Las Vegas Boulevard.
but like for my thing when I would do my events, we would run out of room.
Yeah. But also you have that anchor store too
Yeah.
as well. You know what I'm saying? So that brings in a lot of people.
So when I started like looking around to open this shop, I was like looking around and I would come at night, I would park in the parking lot, I'd look around, I was like, it's kind of hella dark in here. Nobody here. It's kind of fucking creepy, but then I would drive back to the other spot. I'd sit in the parking lot, it's okay, a little bit more lively in here. But something kept drawing me back here, and like I just knew if I planted here, I felt like I could bring people here.
Yeah.
And then eventually I could bring in like I wanted to create basically what I wanted to do is create my own Fairfax.
Which is kind of dope though, because
Fairfax was in the hood before
Yeah.
too. It was a dead zone. So I was like, my thing was like, I can create my own Fairfax with all my friends that own businesses. We can all be next to each other, and then we can call each other. Like we can make another brand called Boulevard Boys or something. I don't know.
have you ever thought about this area, what you could do to it?
Oh yeah,
Like if you were the owner? Because I've always thought about this because
for sure.
obviously this used to be a church.
Yeah.
And every time I would sit in here, I'd always look because it was like, so, it was a fucking dead zone. Like all the stores are like just closed, right? What would you do if you were the owner of this whole complex?
First thing I would make like you went to home to Hawaii recently, right?
Yeah.
And you went on to North Shore.
Mm-hmm.
All the food trucks, Giovanni's food trucks, and all that stuff, right?
Bro, you hit it dead on the nail because that's the first thing I thought
I'll
about.
put it right there.
You
in
have
the
all
middle.
this fucking dead
Yeah.
space here. Do it once a night or whatever it
Yeah.
is, and just have
I would have it here all the
food
time.
trucks galore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that would be nonstop foot traffic
Yeah.
for everybody around. And then you could have anchor tenants like that would be kind of place them around. And then I always felt like that's what it could
Well,
be.
you do have an anchor store. It's an antique.
Yeah.
That shit's been here for a while, though.
Well, the owner of the complex owns it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
that
No
makes so
wonder
much
why.
sense.
Yeah.
He has there's 140 vendors in there.
Dude, that's why. Because I was like, why the fuck is this still here?
There's 140
How
vendors
is
in
it
there.
still
Yeah, yeah.
here?
Yeah.
You know what's
so
crazy?
the owner owns it.
That complex in the back there, I used to rent over there a one bedroom back then.
He owns that too.
The whole complex?
Yeah.
Before it was called,
Done directly,
Serene. Yeah,
directly
yeah,
behind.
yeah.
He owns that too.
oh, wow, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's insane.
This guy, he got properties all over.
Bro, he's a baller, dude.
He got offered, I think Costco offered him, and he denied it.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he told them that the basketball stadium, the baseball stadium, there's townhomes going up over by what is it? Something Suites. There's townhomes going up over here, and then townhomes going up at the dead end over here.
So the question is this. If you were the owner, how old is he?
He's kind of an older guy.
Say 60.
Yeah.
How much did he get offered for the property?
I think 35 mil or something.
Okay. That's a little bit low. I would have went higher. But anyway, if somebody came to you at the age of 65 and you got all these properties, 65, think about this, and you own this property, how much longer do you think you're going to live?
Average is not too much longer, right?
The average is in the United States is about 88 years old for a male, right?
What is maybe long? 20
Okay.
years.
So he's got 20 more years. So the next question is, do you clip that 35 million now, reposition, or you're going to hold out. Could be another 15 more years, 20 more years to make $50-60 million versus $35 million.
I think it depends if I've got kids in the same business.
But remember, you still own a bunch of shit all over the place.
Yeah.
Right.
He owns one by Rhodes Ranch. He owns one in Green Valley. So he has all over the place.
What ethnicity is this dude?
Indian.
Ooh, makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say Jew, but no.
Everybody just thinks Jew or that's like the first thing you think, right?
I was thinking Asian, but I guess I was wrong.
I'm
I'm disappointed.
Indian kind of qualifies, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that sort of Asian?
A little
Dark
bit.
Asians,
Hey.
mountain Asians.
Have you ever went to somebody's house that was Indian?
Yeah, actually,
smells like
I
curry.
got some.
Yeah, fucking strong curry, dude.
yeah.
I mean, that shit is good though. But I remember back then I was delivering fucking pizza. Fucking lady opened the door. I was like, whoa, this is some strong ass curry. I jumped in my car. I still smell like curry, dude. That's how strong that shit is.
But it's funny how you can walk into a house and you can kind of tell like
Yeah.
what they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went to my friend owns the grandparents own Dong Yang, this famous meat John spot in Oahu. Bro, we go to his house, it smells straight like daikong inside the house.
Just pickled.
Bro, you open the fridge and it's just like more the house smells like daikong. You open the fridge, it's like daikong galore, like just stronger. And then you'd go home and mom be like, you smell like your friend's daikong's house or something. You know, it's fucking.
My baby mom was Korean, so
Oh, really?
we always have like
Kimchi?
fresh kimchi in the fridge. Oh my god.
Hey, daikong is bomb though, bro.
Daikong is bomb.
I fucking love that shit.
And then I got invited to my other friend. He's Laos.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hottest shit I ever ate in my life, bro. The food was so spicy.
Yeah, but it's good though.
It was hella good, but I like we was over there and like I remember it's already spicy for me, and they're adding more spice, and I'm like sitting over there. I have like napkins on my head. I'm peeling crab and eating crab with like
Soaking up
napkins.
the sweat.
Bro. The napkins are soaked on my head, and I'm just like, bro. I'm looking at them like, how the fuck are you guys eating this, bro? It's so.
But
spicy.
you know what's crazy? This shit is so good that your mouth
You eat
is
it
just
through
like
spice.
you're like you're just still eating that shit.
Bro, I was legit like you almost like tearing, bro, when you're in his
I used
house.
to hate eating hot food on like dates. You know what I mean? Because I used to be sweating drenched like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst.
But nowadays I can't eat hot food, man. That shit just rips through my
I
stomach.
gotta shit right away.
Yeah.
If I go to Hot and Juicy, I'm shitting for sure. Hot and Juicy, I'm fucking mid meal. I gotta go to the shitter.
What flavors do you order over there?
No spice, the one with no spice, and I'm still sweating. Bro, I ordered Penang curry,
Oh, yeah.
no spice, and maybe they cook it in the same pot, but I'm fucking just dripping sweat when I'm eating it. I don't know what the fuck, bro. My body's not built for spice, but I like the taste of it.
Yeah, that shit is good. Talking about that, you're talking about Thai food. That shit
Yeah.
is good too. But I had it the other day. It was all right, but that shit's just too much sugar for me, bro. It seems like Thai food here in America, they just douse it with sugar.
Same thing with the Chinese food, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what? You're right
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's why I can't eat it, man. I'm
With
like,
the
yo,
Panda Expresses.
yeah, I'm like,
everything.
this
What is
ain't
that?
real
Is that-
Asian food.
Like, I like panda, but like, is that considered real Chinese food?
No, you're right. But Chinese food is still usually just
Yeah.
like drenched in sugar and oil.
Yeah.
Sure, true.
Really oily.
Oh yeah,
Hey, what do you call the end of a street when there's like a circle at the end of it?
cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac?
Did you hear that again? It's been bothering me for like half an hour. Say
Why?
it again.
Cul-de-sac?
Why do you hold the E so hard on
Yeah,
the
it's
D?
cul-de-sac.
Called D-sac.
Cul-de-sac?
You heard it, right?
Cul-de-sac? No. Fuck, I don't know. I heard that's how my fucking dad them said it, so that's how I say it too.
It's cul-de-sac, right?
Yeah.
You almost said it the same way.
Cul-de-sac.
You're not saying it too much.
I
just
feel like
hold
it's
the E a
complete.
little.
Yeah, it's completely different.
When you say
bothered me for
I
like
say shave,
30
you say
minutes.
I shave.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, because you're from Hilo. That's
Yeah.
why.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
You guys are the only ones that call it I shave.
Yeah, when I went to Hilo, on the Kona side, I was reading the sign. I'm like, yo, these fucking
Backwards.
dyslexic. What the fuck is going on? And
Signs
my
are
wife's like, no, we say it like this. I'm like, oh, okay, got it.
That's like you ever like junk and a monk and a saka po? How do you guys say
Junk
it?
and a
Junk
pole.
and a pole.
See, is that it?
Junk and a what?
You got junk and a monk and a saka po?
No, it's just junk and a pole.
We can do that one too.
Yeah.
But I realize
right?
like every island
Yeah,
has like, a
I know
different
junk
way
and
to
a
say
pole,
it.
but I don't know where junk and a sunk and a. I never heard that one before.
You never notice that, like all the islands said things differently?
Yeah, like Kauai is like hoi.
You know what's crazy? You guys don't have a local accent.
I broke
You
up.
guys don't even speak
I've been
pidgin.
here for a while. Well,
But I
I
guarantee-
have it there. It's there.
But I guarantee when you go home,
yeah. Oh, it's bad when
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
I didn't break mine until I was leaving my senior year because I knew
Yeah.
I was going to play football in the mainland. So my mom made it a point to try to start speaking proper. And
You know, it's crazy. I talk to my friends back home. They're like, dude, you sound so fucking white, dog.
Yeah. But you know, because I was getting sent to the mainland to race dirt bikes from when I was like
Yeah.
15 years old. So when I'd come up here, my pigeon was bad, and we'd go to the races, and nobody understand what I'm saying, and I'm like, "Nah, what the fuck? Like I'm talking like regular, but then that's when I realized that we have our own accent, you know.
Yeah.
And then when I went home, my friends were like, every like on the long trips when I go and race, and I'd go back home, they'd be like, why do you sound weird?
Why do you
Because I
sound
would
weird?
like have to like clean up my English to be able to talk to when I was racing.
But I think you're a professional dirt bike rider, right?
Yeah, I raced out like I wasn't like top, but I raced all over in like 30 states.
That's crazy.
So I got to explore at a young age.
Did you have like a sponsor and all that?
Yeah.
Dude, that must have been a dope lifestyle.
No, it was, bro. Honestly, I got to travel. I got to experience more than most people experience in a lifetime. By the time I was 17, by
Really?
the time I was 17, I went to 30 states
Wow.
and I raced in like 30 states.
So they just paid for everything.
Yeah, and culturally, like East Coast, West Coast. So like you learn, like that's when the back in the days when there was no like heavy social media,
no
so
travel sports.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
complete different
Bro,
world.
even
right?
when we was traveling, it was the fucking map, and you had to mile markers and stuff. So when we went to the East Coast, like it was a culture shock.
Yeah.
When I go to places, like legit culture shock. When I go to places,
So how did you actually fall out of that? Like,
injuries.
so
Like,
you got a lot of
literally.
injuries then.
Yeah. So like it's like when you're slow, you crash, you get strawberries.
Okay.
The faster you get, you don't crash as much, but when you crash, you break something.
So it's motocross, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I did buy a dirt bike.
Now? Right now?
No, I bought it
Oh.
a couple years ago. I told my friend I was hyping him up, right? It's like, yo, we gotta get a fucking dirt bike. And he used to ride dirt bikes. This motherfucker spent like 12 grand on a fucking bike.
Oh, they're expensive.
Yeah,
man.
I just bought a used one. $1,900, right?
Yeah.
And we went out to Mesquite, you know that track?
Yeah.
Which is pretty fun. But then I realized like, yo, this motherfucker's kicking my ass. Like cardio,
Oh yeah.
fucking great workout.
People don't know that it's like one of the
Bro,
most physically demanding
It
sports.
really is, dude. You got to be in shape.
Yeah.
So there was another track. So I went on this like baby track. You know, I'm trying to like learn how to like I know how to ride a street bike because I always grew up. But I was like, yeah, I could ride this fucking dirt bike,
It's totally different, bro.
bro.
Yeah.
These guys were hitting like 40-foot jumps. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like if you crash,
Oh, you're done.
you're done.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, this ain't for me.
I think the biggest
So
idea
I'm just riding around, just having
the biggest
fun,
idea
you
was
know what
150. The biggest jump.
I mean? That is insane, dude. I don't even know how you do
but
that.
it like I said, it's a totally different
Yeah.
mindset.
Does
you
it
know?
hurt when you land? Like,
Well, you have suspension and stuff, and like if you come up short or you over jump it, it hurts. But that's when you're not gonna jump it obviously if you're like a beginner, because
Yeah.
you'll kill yourself for sure.
Yeah.
You know, but as you get better, like your timing and your rhythm, like you can almost look at like a jump and then you can gauge it just off of visually looking at it.
But you know what's crazy is I used to ride just regular like dirt bikes, right? And I could like ride and, you know, fucking do some airs and shit like that. It's not the same with a dirt bike. Like how you like pull up,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not the
totally
same.
different.
You gotta like lean back or something.
And,
I was
and
like,
now the
it's
style
weird.
is so different. Is like now they're not trying. You don't go high. You try to stay as low as
yeah.
possible.
So I guess you do
and
like
keep
a
the
pancake
speed,
or
yeah.
something like that. And
It's called a scrub, bubble
is that
scrub.
what it is?
So you kind of like turn the handlebar down on the face of the jump.
what's crazy, like I seen like these guys hit these jumps and you have like these berms and they do it and they're like flat and they're like this going across and it's like
Yeah.
perfect timing. I was like, this is insane, bro.
But it's not like I say. It's not a beginners aren't doing that for
Yeah.
sure. And like I've been at tracks where people crash and like, they die. You know. So I've seen it. I've seen a lot of broken bones. I've seen people die. I've seen all that at the track. It's a really, really dangerous sport.
How much were they paying you for something like that?
I wasn't even getting paid much, but it was free travel, and like if you
The
win the
experience.
races, yeah.
That's dope.
I don't even know how to ride a dirt bike.
Really?
I tried to do a front flip on a bicycle once.
Did you eat
Into
it?
a pool.
Bro, my fucking lip was in my nose. It was crazy, bro.
Back then, we used to always like ride mopeds. And I remember going down Waikiki.
The elites.
Oh yeah, bro. We used to steal that shit
I was
all
gonna
day
say, you
long.
used to steal mopeds.
Bro, you know, elites are worth hella money now because they don't make them anymore.
I think you can get them for like $1,500. I seen them on like Craigslist.
But not like in really good shape, right?
Like
But
decent,
now
but, they're like souped up
They
and
have the
shit.
Japan headsets,
Yeah.
the Japan plastics. They're worth good money now, or
But
not?
dude, back then, dude, we used to steal them like all the time. There's like 18 of us. We stole like a bunch of mopeds, fucking cruising, just having fun. Some of us got
I
arrested.
feel like Hawaii is just a normal to be on a moped, right?
Were you guys smoking Batu at the time?
No.
Because you said you were smoking Batu with 18 guys. I just wondered if it was the same group or
It was definitely the same group.
night.
So you have to understand where I lived, right, in Red Hill, it was like generational kids growing up.
Yeah.
So there would be like 18 of us. We would all grow up together. But then there would be like another group, probably like 13, 14, but they were older. Then you had another group that was probably like 10 and they were older. And they were like 34. We're like, 16, 17 at that time. But you can literally see the generations living in this complex.
And they don't leave.
Well, some of them do leave. But then you can see like, I guess the OGs, they still there. You know what I mean?
That's like where I'm at. I live in
Yeah.
Whitmore, so it's small community,
Yeah.
one way in, one way out. Everybody knows each other. Generations.
Yeah.
Our older siblings went to school with their older siblings. We're classmates. Our younger siblings went to school. Our kids are going to school,
Now that you go back home, your friends that you were really tight with, are you still tight with them? Like super tight
Yeah.
where
I like that's like one thing with me, like even with when I had the farmers brand and it got really big, I kept in touch with all my friends that I grew up with. I never forgot where I came from and who helped me get to where I got, like Justin them know, like every Friday I text them every Friday. Like this is my homie now, so
Yeah.
every Friday I get a text message, Happy Aloha Friday. And it's just a way for me to keep in touch with everybody that I grew up with or my close friends.
What do you spend like an hour, 2 hours?
3
doing
hours.
it? Yeah.
Oh wow. That's
on
a
Fridays.
commitment.
Yeah.
So
My nephew's like, oh, why don't you just
Mass text.
mass text? I was it's not the same. It's not personable.
yeah. I just feel like the kids I grew up with since elementary, everybody kind of has their own lives, but also like our mindsets are not the same.
Yeah.
So we're just peers and we're good friends. And if like something happens to like one of them, like they'll call me immediately. Like I have friends that, passed already, right?
Yeah.
So I'll get the call. But when I get the call, I know some shit
Something
fucking
wrong, yeah.
happened. You know what I mean? But it's not like how you have that connections with your friends.
and it's because like I guess because I had the old brand and the new brand, so they all support and they come when they fly. Like when my friends come to Vegas, this is like one of their stops. They come here, support. And you've seen before, like there's certain friends I will drop everything for, and I'll go across the street to Lee's Liquor, and I guess we're getting fucked up tonight. You know? And I'll just like fuck the shop, close it.
So you are definitely plugged in with Hawaii.
Yeah, like I feel like I stay close with all my friends and everybody at home still yet.
What about you, Justin?
Yeah, I've got close friends back home, but not as much as like 'cause I left so early at 17, and then I never ended up moving back.
Yeah.
I ended up leaving, playing college football, then to the army, and then straight out here. So I'm kind of evenly split. Like I've still got friends that I'm close with back home, but I ended up building like a multi-million dollar brand like Raleigh, so it ended up never getting that wide. But I've got a lot of great friends, especially from like football and from sports, especially from like other schools on the island.
Mm-hmm.
Not many of us ended up going to play college, so I would say like more of like the all-star teams, closer with like those guys.
When's the last time you've been back home?
Man, it's actually been probably like 2.5 years, something like that, 3 years almost.
What
now.
about you?
2 years.
Like 2 years, 3 years.
Surprising you don't go more often.
Well, now I can because I just sold my trucking business that I was taking up all my time.
How's that doing? I got a buddy that he's got a trucking business too, but seems like he's not.
I
making
had a really
as
good
much.
contract, so I ran
Yeah.
in town every day. So it wasn't like a huge operation, just
Mhm.
one dealership. So I now that I sold that, I can go back home more.
So I want to go back because this is fascinating. Now I'm taking over the podcast
Yeah,
here, like I'm a fucking host and shit. So you mentioned that he's made millions of dollars, correct?
Yes.
Do you still got all that money?
No.
What happened?
I bought my houses, invested. We got a 5-acre down North Shore Oahu.
Ooh,
So a lot of my money I did invest it, and a lot of money I
Go
fucking
look on
blew it.
Instagram.
A lot of money went fucking to the strip club, to the clubs. I was going out. I had nights I was going out and spending 100,000 in a night.
bro, you're spending 100,000?
Yeah.
That is insane, bro.
But I was 20 something years old making.
Well, the good news is that you can spend it and you can remake it again.
Mhm.
Well, I knew like with that other brand.
Would you do it this time though?
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm saying if you're making $1 million a year,
Yeah.
would you now go to a strip club and spend $100,000?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
I have everything I need. I have all the houses. I have 2 houses here. I have one.
Justin, help me out here.
I felt the Jew in me.
But but you've been with me enough to know like I'm a giver. Like I like to go out. I like to treat. I like to take my friends out, and I pay for.
Well, I'm fucking hanging out with you then, bro.
You know what I mean?
It's an ultimate experience.
Let me tell you this. I think it was like 15 years ago. We went to a strip club, right? My buddy was getting married. So he was like, here's 10 grand. Spend it on the girls. So he gave like,
you know what
all
I
his
would have done
friends.
with it? Not to interrupt. You know what I would have did with it? I would have took the 10 and then went to a massage parlor.
Bro, that's what I did. I took the 10 grand in ones, right? I fucking held on to the shit. Just do a couple, you know. Held on to it.
You made some money that night.
No. Then after that, we were fucked up. I'm talking about like just high on fucking drugs. I think it was like 2 days after, I gave him back the money because he was short with money. He was like, where the fuck did you get this? I was like, it was the money that you gave me, you fucking dumbass. I couldn't spend the money, dude.
How fat was a stack of ones?
Dude, it was
big.
Dude, it was big.
10 grand's a lot.
It was a lot of fucking ones.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. How did you keep all of that on you? Like, where was it?
Well, back then we had like fucking backpacks and shit.
Oh,
So I threw it in a fucking backpack. But I couldn't see myself spending that kind of money. Even like when we go to strip clubs, I have like girls jump on me. I tell them like, hey, wrong guy, because I ain't fucking dropping.
Bro,
They get fucking pissed.
so I shoot a lot of content in strip clubs. Peppermint Hippo in town.
Okay,
a couple other clubs here in town that I'm working with. I let them know in the beginning that I work with them, and you get to close the deal sometimes without
Yeah.
paying out of pocket. It's pretty cool. I tell them go make their money, and I'll go see you guys in a couple hours. Just text me.
But yeah, I like, that's what I think that really that's like the difference with me. I'm
So
here-
you don't care about money then?
yeah.
Well, that's good. I guess that's a good position.
I'm here for a
to be.
good time, not a long time.
Well, I'm gonna start fucking hanging out. Don't forget to text me on Friday.
If everybody knows like with when we had farmers, our lifestyle was that party lifestyle, and all our friends would go with us. We pay for everything, and it just kind of became like thing. I bought everything. I have everything that I need to live comfortable.
So, are you the guy that pays for everything for the whole crew?
Not everything, not all the time, because I don't like have as much as money.
I wouldn't
before,
say
but-
he's idiotic with it, but he's generous.
Yeah.
I mean, $100,000. That's pretty fucking generous.
I haven't seen that.
Well, that
was back in the day.
Back in the
Okay.
day.
Because
If I got like when I get back there, yeah, easily. Again.
because I do see your lifestyle on social media, which is I look at all the partying. I'm like, okay, that's dope, but I'm like, yo, I gotta be in bed by fucking 9. I got shit to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I don't know if I'm just getting older. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. This shit ain't even worth it. Like I gotta calculate my moves.
Yeah.
Like if I was gonna do cocaine, it's like
I need a couple days
yeah,
later.
yeah, it's like okay, wait, I gotta fucking put this in my schedule because I need 2 days to fucking recover. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, talking about
But
cocaine, I gotta go take a shit right now.
I've never really slept much either. Like I'm always like at 12 o'clock. I wake up at 4:30.
Oh, really?
That's always been my dad had us getting up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning since we were kids. So I just stuck to that routine.
Well, when I first got
into
out
adult.
here, that's all I did.
Well, if you're in a nightlife, especially too, right?
Yeah. That's all, I mean, that's literally all I did. But I don't know. Maybe it just comes with age, where it's just like I don't know if that shit's worth it. And I go there, I'm fucking complaining. I'm like, before we go, did you guys get a fucking table? Like, what's the whole fucking itinerary? We got a spot to sit. Like, how big is the booth? Like, I'm questioning everything.
Yeah,
My friends are like,
that's all. Yeah, even
My friends
even
are
like
like, what the
Lexi.
fuck?
Remember, Lexi was here. Is VIP or we ain't going?
Yeah.
That's how it has to be.
Well,
that
it's
way.
got to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As you get older, it's like comfortable. You know.
But you know what is crazy
Yeah.
is like this guy knows too. Like when I go to concerts, we can have a VIP table, but I'll be in the GA crowd front with everybody's shirt off.
Really?
Like we have a VIP booth, but I like being in the middle of. I like being right there in the middle of all my people. You
I
know?
used to like to do that, but now I like to sit above everybody and just
You sounded so elitist.
And he went like this too.
I like to sit above.
like an oligarch and shit.
Yeah.
Well,
I
went
just
to-
want to be comfortable and just like people watch, you know what I'm saying, from
Yeah.
a distance and control the whole fucking narrative.
I went to the Maoli concert. I sat above and we still got kicked out.
Oh, really?
But that's
Yeah.
because you guys started throwing money into the crowd
Yeah, so-
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
off their VIP booth.
I would have saved you. I would have been like, dude, what are you doing?
Hey, let me hold that for you.
Yeah, let me hold this shit. Let me save you
Put it
some
in my
fucking money. But yeah, you know what? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
No,
go
no,
ahead.
no. I lost my train of thought. Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, what do you think's the worst neighborhood in Las Vegas?
Oh,
Naked
going back
City.
to real estate. Worst neighborhood?
Well, Naked City's getting nice again.
Like, what's
though, right?
the area in Las Vegas you would least move to?
Me personally, probably like somewhere around like Martin Luther King.
But that's in every state, right?
Yeah.
Every major city.
That's why I answered it like that. Here's why. Because as an agent, you can't really disclose like, oh, this is the shittiest fucking spot, right? Because the problem is that my shitty spot,
Might be gold to somebody else.
exactly.
Mm.
Like, honestly, could I actually live down Martin Luther King? Yeah. But my wife, she'd be like, nah, we ain't living down there.
Yeah.
You out of your mind. Right? But I wouldn't be wearing fucking jewelry and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I have 20-foot walls around my
Yeah.
house, and
Bro, like, you know how I'm oblivious to that shit, right? So
Yeah.
I used to go to the Bay all the time.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll tell my homies, I'll be like,
With the gold chain and shit?
on San Fran side, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I tell my boys, hey,
not the Oakland
the
side.
homies in Oakland is inviting us. You guys gonna go? I say, no, call us when you get back. So I'll be like, okay, fuck it, I want to go. But I didn't know how bad it was until I actually got robbed in Oakland.
You got
know,
robbed
yeah.
at a gas station, huh?
What ethnicity?
No, we was at the fuck's it called? The convention center and like the fucking streets was ABCs 1, 2, 3s.
Oh, that's even worse.
So like after we got robbed, like jury, everything. Then
Wait. How do you get robbed? Like, what's the scenario?
well,
Like,
they
how
were
does this go
following
down?
us.
What was the ethnicity?
Dark.
Popolo?
So, but Dylan, they saw Dylan's camera. Dylan's running up and down the street, like grabbing bums, like, you got my camera. And then he's trying to find his camera. I had like my gold grill with all the diamonds, some gold. But and by chance that day,
Did you have a car, or were you guys just like walking nonchalant?
we was doing a release there, so we had our van with all of our stuff in it. And then they're following us.
And you guys, you weren't even aware of it.
No.
So what happened? Like, paint the picture. What happened?
Yeah.
They took everything but the fucking
But like, did you guys like once you guys pulled up? Like, where were you guys?
Yeah,
we
like,
was
did
we was
you-
in the convention center. We went inside. They washed us. They robbed the van with everything in it, and everything was gone when we got back.
So you guys had all that in the van?
Yeah,
Oh.
What how
you
did
have
your
on?
jury get?
I don't know because
Did
so-
you leave everything
No,
in the
so
van?
what happens is like because my other chains and stuff is big. So that morning I was like, my neck hurts because we went out the night before.
Yeah.
My neck hurts. I'm gonna leave it in the safe. And then we went to the convention center to meet everybody. And then I had all my pinky rings on and grills. And I was like, bro, I'm all fucking uncomfortable and sweaty. So I took it off and I put it in my fanny pack and I stuck it under the chair.
Oh.
But not knowing these guys were watching us, like, the whole time. So as soon as we went in, we wasn't even inside the convention center like 5 minutes.
Oh, I thought you got like jacked like gunpoint
No.
or surrounded.
But then like I didn't know. My friend then was like, why would you leave your van with everything in there? I was like, fuck, I was locked. I don't know. You know what I mean? But they're like, when you go on that side, you take everything out your car, leave your car unlocked.
But how are you gonna take all your merch? I mean,
No, yeah. They left the merch.
okay.
Which was by good thing because that's how we make our money. So we was able to make all the money back anyway.
Yeah.
But my friends over there, they're like, bro, like, yeah, when we get out of our car and park it for the night, we take everything out, then leave our cars open because then they'll just open it and not break our windows. I was like, bro, that's a fucking shitty way to live,
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta, like, leave your car open. If you don't want your change stolen out of your ashtray, take all your change out. If you don't want this stolen, take it out. But leave your cars open so they can open the door and get, if they need anything, they can open it and go inside without breaking your window.
Yeah.
And everybody does it.
insane.
It's fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
I heard like my client, he's from the Bay, and well, one of my clients, and he was telling me that story too. Like, especially like with the cars, he was like, "Dude, you don't even have a nice car. You just have a regular car because the parking is so tight.
Yeah.
People like bump
Oh,
you
bro.
just to get out."
Yeah.
And he says he leaves the doors unlocked and the glove compartment open, and also the center console open.
So they know
Just
that.
like they know like, oh, this motherfucker got shit.
Bro, what a way to live, right? I just thought that was so crazy, bro. Like, what a fucking way to
Do you
live.
own any real estate out there? Just all here in Las Vegas and Nevada?
Just only here in Las Vegas. Now, I've gone back a couple times where looked at a couple beachfront properties, but there was one that I wanted to put in an offer, but then the problem with Hawaii is you can't build a retaining wall. And I found this out was the stupidest thing.
Only Obama.
What?
Say again?
Only Obama
Yeah,
can.
only Obama. That's right. So basically, has to do with something like with this conservative company. I don't know, like nonprofit, whatever is, you know, because of the INA. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was the water would wash up the sand all the way up to the house. So I'm like, okay, I could probably take this thing down for like maybe 1.2. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a good deal. I'm going to do a retaining wall. But the reason why I didn't want you to do a retaining wall, because now that you do a retaining wall, now you're pushing the sand to somebody else's house.
Yeah.
So at that point, it wasn't worth it. And come to find out, the home is not insurable.
Because on the ocean.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's not insurable, then there's really no value to the property. So I spoke to the
The value is the view.
basically.
Right.
So I spoke to the owners, actually the agent's owners, right? And he was saying he didn't have insurance. But I was like, how much did he pay for this thing? He was like $900K. And I'm like, yo, $900,000 and it's not even insurable? Bro, this thing ain't worth anything because when you try to sell it, you're always going to run into that problem. That's why we didn't touch it. You know what I mean?
Can you even buy a house without insurance? Though?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course you can. But why
That's
would
like-
you?
so does Big
Everything
Island-
that's
Big
going on like
Island,
in Nantucket on the East Coast,
Well, even Big Island too, where you
Oh,
guys are
yeah.
buying on an active volcano.
next to Kilauea, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some that the lava insurance they just don't cover.
I fucking can't stand fucking Hilo though. Bro, after like a day, I'm like, get me the fuck out of here.
No, you can walk through the mall in like 5 minutes.
Well, that's what I do. I go to the mall and then go down to Richardson. And after that, I'm like, babe, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And she's fucking loving it because, you know, she grew up there. I'm like, fucking this place is shutting down at 6:30. I'm like, yo, I'm just getting started. Like, what the fuck is going on?
I hated that growing up, bro. Like no restaurants, nothing open past like 8 o'clock.
That was good about good about growing up in Oahu, bro. Like we had the
Yeah.
city life, and like I lived in like country, so Waiwa Whitmore. So we lived country, and then we could go to the city still.
Fucking Wahiwa. Oof. That fucking place is ghetto, dog.
I live in Whitmore actually.
Shit.
What's the Wahiwa of Las Vegas?
I would say,
MLK.
I think last time I drove down there was a couple months ago. I'm like, yo, this fucking place is still trash, dude. And I was looking at a couple investment properties. Great pricing. But I'm like, yo, I don't want to deal with this kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make any sense. Even though the returns are a little bit higher, but then you got to deal with bullshit. And
Tenant
that's
or just
landlord bullshit, right? So sometimes it's not worth it. So it's like, why even do it? Sometimes it's better to spend more money to make a little bit less, but you don't have to do the work. So that's the main thing, you know? Was this fucking podcast about real estate? Because I know I'm constantly jumping off and Justin is bringing back to real estate. You know what I'm saying?
That's why we're trying to learn too. That's why at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. You have all the knowledge. But I mean, that's pretty much our podcast is.
Yeah, we talk shit about whatever, and then we go to us because at the end of the day, I told him, bro, he can kind of educate us too at the same time. Because
Yeah.
just by watching your social media, like, and I kind of see it too in Vegas. You're like that one agent that you could say that is pushing that limit of the social media, and like I like that. I like that you had the Lambo and you do like the whole. You didn't know how to open the gas cap.
Oh, yeah.
Which was fucking
That was
hilarious.
funny.
He bought it and he's like, how the fuck do you open this gas cap, you know?
Who did you call to get it up?
So Will Motivation, he's another investor. He's big on social media too, big following. He's got a bunch of cars and shit. He's got properties, great entrepreneur. And that's one thing, you know, it's really good about social media, right? You start connecting
Yeah.
with other people. Then you start different brands, businesses, or some ideas, you know what I'm saying? And just take off, just like you and that one guy, Taco Shop, right?
Vegas
So-
policy, yeah.
Yeah, see, just
Social
like that.
media is like, bro, I would legit like fly to places and when I land, I put like, hey, who can pick me up?
Mhm.
And like, bro, some of them pick me, people that pick me up, I've never met them in my life. But we've been on like friends on Instagram.
Yeah.
And they're like, bro, what's fucking going on tonight? You know, and they're like, fuck, do you want to go to the club? I was like, of course I want to go to the club. Like, where are we going? And I've gotten like fucked up with people I've never met in my life.
Have
but
you ever had stalkers calling you?
have people send stuff to my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, I had some fucking weird shit, dude. Like, girls, that's all right. Fucking dudes.
Like gay dudes or
Yeah. Like, fucking send me like fucking text. Like,
I feel like I feel like your OnlyFans would do really good if you had one.
you think so?
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing that shit.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
you think so?
No, I know, like,
Bro, like,
yeah, you just have to get past that.
guys be fucking
most of
hitting
the
me up, dude.
subscribers
I
are
don't
good.
know what it is, bro. They're like, yo, you want to fuck? and I look at the text and I'm fucking cracking up and I'm showing my wife, right? And I'm like, yo, you like how I said fucking wife? I had to throw that fucking in there for the video. But anyway, I fucking text back. I'm like, yo, not a fucking dinner. Like, hey, how you doing? Just straight up like, you want to fuck? Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck says that? If I told that to a female, I'll go to jail. You know what I'm saying?
But that like your OnlyFans would do good. You just have to get past that. All your subscribers are gonna be guys.
But you know what? I don't give a fuck as long as I'm
Getting
getting paid.
paid. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're like, hey, bro, I need you to fucking jag off, do all this shit, like, I ain't got time for that shit. That's too much fucking work. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna do all that shit. But I did look at this thing. It's called like footsie something. Have you ever seen that shit?
Yeah.
I can't
There are
believe.
people with hella fetish for that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that shit.
Our friend outside, she goes on these live chat streams,
Yeah.
and a guy pays her $50 every time she farts.
Get the fuck out of here.
I told her, bro, I'll be gassing up. Be walking around the whole room
Like for the audio or for the visual?
for the
like,
audio and the visual,
Wow.
because they're on live chat.
like he can see her face?
Yeah, so she
Wow.
like, I was like, bro, I'll be farting all over that place. I'll go in there, make $500 real quick.
I got a buddy of mine. He's got a girl, right? She does like fucking wrestling shit, right? So it's like it's a whole underground shit where they pay her like I think it's like $600 an hour, where she dresses like in a fucking wrestling fucking outfit. You call them up, they go to your house and
they
they
wrestle
fucking
you?
wrestle your ass and beat your ass up. I was like $600 an hour.
Everybody got fetishes.
I was like, oh, that's fucking weird, dude. Like
I'll
How busy are they?
they're pretty fucking busy, dude.
Wow.
I
bro,
couldn't
if you
believe
do
that
1
shit.
hour every night, you're making a good living, bro.
That's not bad.
I don't know. $600 doesn't buy you shit
An
any
hour?
days. Well, I mean, you got to work a couple hours. I'm just saying. Let's just say $600. What does $600 really buy you today? Pair of shoes,
That's 14 grand a month. Working 6 days a week.
14 grand a month ain't shit. Like, let's get fucking real.
Says the guy driving the Lambo right now.
Oh no. Retract. But no, on a serious note, like if you make 14 grand a month, a mortgage nowadays, it's about $4,800.
So maybe we lucked out because we got our houses early. So
Yeah, you did.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I always
Food-
think about that. Like my friends that do have those big mortgages, I'm like, how the fuck are you guys doing it? And
And they make like 6 grand a month.
yeah, and I'm like, fuck, that's
See, I would
crazy.
never do that because it doesn't make any sense. People are like, dude, why don't you buy that big ass house that you want? Because it doesn't make any sense.
Because if the house you live in, you bought it how many years ago?
2009.
Wow.
You
I
can say.
paid, I think like 180.
So your mortgage is less than 2,000.
My mortgage is only like 930.
Yeah,
Oh.
see, mine's just 13.
But I don't have a mortgage because the rentals pay for that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're living debt free. The only carrying cost I have is just to run my fucking business. Everything else is just fucking play money, right? But I take that money, I just dump it back into like real estate. Like my portfolio right now, I think it's 78% back into real estate. It's a little bit high, but once I get back rid of these properties, then I'll be pretty good. So
Besides that, what is like your hobby? Oh, I see you into racing your car now, right?
fucking not anymore, dude.
What happened? You crashed?
No, I just got
Oh.
out of shit.
It was a quick.
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah,
I was in and out, you know.
bro,
what I'm
this guy
saying?
bought helmets and everything.
You just wanted
Yeah.
to taste the speed or what?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, just fucking YouTube one day. I was like, oh, this shit look fucking dope.
I used to do that shit too, though.
Then next thing you know, I was like, you know, I'm gonna give me a Honda Civic 91 hatchback because that was like the high school car back
Yeah,
then, right?
yeah.
So then I started looking around and I was looking at pricing at that time. They wanted like 18 grand. I'm like, I'm not fucking paying 18 grand for this shit. So then I was like, all right, I'll bump it up to 30. Let me see what I can get. I was like, there ain't shit on Craigslist. Then went to 40. I was like, you know what? This doesn't make sense. Maybe I need to get it like a new fucking car, like a race car. Then I came across like the Honda Civic Type R. And I was like, fuck, 57. Yeah, fuck it. Went down to the dealership, looked at it. I'm like, oh yeah, this motherfucker looks dope. Hey, I'll take it. So I bought it, fucking raced it. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, this shit's fun. Second time I raced it, I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And I was gonna throw another like 20 grand into it just to fucking buy all the shit one time. Like everything, just soup this thing up, right? Then after that, I was like, I'm not even interested anymore. So the car is fucking parked in front of my house right now. Same thing as a fucking Lambo. Bought that car. It's like driving around like, yo, I feel like I'm doing something fucking big. After that shit goes away.
It's hard to get in and out.
Fucking done.
It
is.
How long did that feeling last with the Lambo?
Like 3-4 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, it's a trophy car, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I walk by it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a nice car. But I don't have that fucking feeling. Then when you're driving this shit, you got to watch out for fucking people because everybody want to fucking speed up to see who it is, or they want to fucking park close to you. So it's just like one of those things you're driving, but I feel like I always have to have like a fucking dome, invisible dome around me as I'm driving, because people just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But is it worth it? Fuck it. If you got the money.
I know that I like to find hobbies and then I get fully into it and then fall out of it.
Yeah, like I get so gun-ho into shit. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be a professional race car driver. Next thing you know, I'm like, I'm fucking off into other shit.
I got gun ho into my backyard.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You was digging that
Bro,
shit?
My backyard, I went in on my backyard. I did like fucking custom fencing and grass and I did the deck.
I think I seen that shit on social media.
And then now I look at it and I'm like, fuck.
Wait, did you do all that yourself or you just hired somebody?
I did it myself.
That's fucking, landscaping is hard, dude.
But so I grew up, my dad owns construction and we own machine equipment and everything in Hawaii. So I grew up, like we did everything on our own.
Yeah, I just look at it like, I ain't got enough fucking time. Like nowadays, I'll be buying shit and I'm like, fuck, I haven't even used these shirts, shoes. Like, I'm like, fuck, I gotta stop buying shit, dude. Like, I'll get into shit and get out of shit quick.
Collecting hobbies.
Yeah.
I got a friend like that too. But now he's into, the family just bought the Palms.
Oh, really?
But he's into his speedboat.
Oh, that's fucking dope.
Heavy speedboat.
That's insane.
Yeah. I used to funny because I when I go to Cali, I always stay at his house. So we go to his house, and this guy likes to shop, bro. He has the craziest shoe collection.
Mm-hmm.
Like he starts bringing shit out, and he's like, "Oh, how's this shoe and stuff?" And then he's telling you about it. I'm like, yeah, but I've never seen that shoe in my life. You know, it's like a player exclusive that got released and nobody sees it. But everything in his house, he got Muhammad Ali like signed gloves. He got Michael Jackson fedora, all that. He gets into hobbies and he like is fully into it.
If you got the money, by all means, go for it.
I think he got into RC cars at one time and then he won state champ RC car.
Oh, really?
And then he's like, next year he's like, fuck it, I'm good.
You win a state championship in RC
Because
cars.
it's RC racing.
And
then another one, I think he got into breeding dogs. He won like best breeder in the US like 2 years in a row.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. So he gets into hobbies like really. Oh, another one was koi fish. Into koi fish.
Have you seen how expensive some of these koi
$1 million.
fishes are? Yeah.
What?
$1 million
Yes.
for a koi.
Some of them is even more, dude. Like in Japan, they
Bro,
fucking love that
Wait,
shit.
what's the point? Like, what's so special about
Bro,
it?
they put it under a microscope. They inspect the belly. They inspect the colors. The way the scales is. Bro, it's a science.
Some of those things are pretty fucking huge too, bro. I couldn't believe that shit.
It's not like the ones at Alamoana in the those things.
Oh,
They're in
those
the
are
middle.
gone. I don't think they even have any
Yeah,
of
they
those.
took him out, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Who are you talking to? He's telling
Jay
culture.
Fructose.
Yeah.
He's the one of like he knows how to like beat slots. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
what he does for a living is play slots.
Yeah.
We were telling him about chicken fighting. He just didn't believe us.
And what's crazy is I got friends, like full on Filipinos, bro. They love their fucking chickens.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that's serious.
Talk to him.
yeah, like fucking stroking them. I'm like, I don't understand this shit, and they're trying to explain it to me. I'm just like, yo, whatever's, dude. Like, I mean, it does look like a nice fucking chicken, though. You know what I mean?
It is a cultural thing too.
No,
that's
it
why,
is.
Yeah.
But I know in the Philippines, because I was watching some YouTube videos, man.
It's huge.
Yeah, they actually have
Arenas.
like arenas and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Sponsors.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
It's kind of like you're
That's
talking about
it's
with
like with boxing.
with the dog breeders, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they breed them perfectly. Same thing with the chickens.
Yeah. Insane, dude. But Hawaii is like no other place, dude. Just something about Hawaii. It's like the spiritual, the aloha, and everybody's cool as fuck. Unless you know run around the wrong fucking person. You know what I'm saying?
But when people meet you from like that aren't from Hawaii, and they meet you, they always say there's something different about us. And anyway, right?
No, you're
That's
absolutely
like the
right.
first thing they always say. Like, oh, there's something like you guys are different.
But what I realize is like when I was younger, I don't know what it was, man, but if you go to like a certain area, you gotta fucking know somebody.
Yeah.
As soon as you drop names,
territorial, yeah.
yeah, you're good. That's
Yeah.
how it was. But nowadays, I don't know if it's because I'm older. If you just show respect, everybody's just cool. But I also seen like stories where motherfuckers be getting lickings and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what
But
the
you definitely can't be driving down to like the west side in a fucking Jeep.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, or a Mustang.
Convertible Mustang.
Yeah,
Or
bro,
like
you're expecting
7-Eleven,
yeah.
Mayor Rights, 2
Yeah,
in the
like
morning.
you definitely do not be, if you're not from Hawaii, do not rent a
Yeah.
fucking Jeep and do not rent a convertible Mustang.
Now, if you just go
Target.
all the way straight to like Makakilo, I think you should be fine, right? But don't fucking stop. Like, go all the way to the end. You know what I'm saying? But if you stop somewhere, I think you're fucked.
Yeah.
But dude, Waianae's gotten pretty bad though. It's kind of sad. There's a lot of potential though in Waianae.
It's the last of the coastline.
Yeah.
Housing.
But I do have some friends out there. They're investors. They actually pick up some pretty good deals out there, and they're flipping homes out there.
Is it because locals are getting driven out?
Oh yeah, dude. The cost of living. Come on,
Yeah.
bro. You know, bro. You go there. Everything's like expensive, and it's just like everybody.
Is there nothing that can be done to stop that though? Like a cap or investors coming in where they actually have to live there? Like that's like my thing. Like I obviously I go back and my family's lucky enough. We have our houses in Hawaii. We have houses here, so we can go back and forth. We're lucky, but some of some people, they move and they sell everything back at home, and they come here and I'm like, bro, like what? Like you have no roots anymore. Like your roots was at home, you know. Like but I always think like, is there a way we can stop investors from doing that? Like strictly investors that don't even live at the house.
Well, I guess that depends on where in Hawaii, right? But at the end of the day, inflation has gone up so high. That's the reason why home pricing, everything is high, because we keep printing more and more money. That's just the reality, right? But we're losing the value of the dollar. But if you go back and you take a look, job wages has not
Moved.
kept up. That's the problem, okay? And that's the reason why Hawaii is the way it is. Not only that, if you take a look at the politicians there, right? They are stealing everybody's money
Right.
through like taxes. That's how the wealth take your money, is through taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. They have all these ideas like that, you know that fucking train that they have?
The rail, yeah.
Yeah. That's like insane. It's still not done. Like, bro, that was like back when it was in high school or something. You know what I mean?
That's like one thing I always thought about. Is like, bro, how can you, like, the people that's been there, how do you, like, how can we get them to stay there without having to get driven out?
Well, the question is, do they all want to stay there?
I think they'd
I
prefer
feel
to,
like
but they don't really have.
but
They don't have the
a
economy
choice.
to.
But they don't have a choice sometimes.
Like,
Okay.
there's no economic options to sustain that lifestyle.
And we're on an
or
island,
the
bro.
cost
Like,
of life.
you're gonna run out of jobs. You're gonna run out of construct. Like a lot of my friends are construction workers, right?
Mhm.
Because that's what I was by trade. I was a diesel mechanic by trade.
Yeah.
But my dad's family, all of our families, all construction. We own our own equipment and
Mhm.
everything. But my dad would always tell me from a young age, like, because I became a diesel mechanic, and he's like, you know, you got to think about the future. Like, what if we run out of work here? We're on an island,
Yeah.
and one day it might run out of work. So I always had that in my mind when as I was like, even when I was working.
I think it starts
construction.
with mindset. Because if you take a look, certain areas you have poverty mentality. If you are poverty, you're passing that on from one generation to the other. I have friends that live out there. They're making a lot of money. They have houses, right? They're making it happen. But I think it starts with the mindset. But it also starts off with the parents too as well, right? Preparing your kids. Because if you look at the kids here, there's a lot of these kids out here that they're very educated because how they were raised. Like if you look at people that have money, right?
education.
They educate their kids of how money actually works. And if we actually did that in Hawaii, that would be a whole nother level, right? You got to break that mindset.
But I feel like that's why, like, our gen, like the first, like I honestly feel like we was the first wave to move here.
Mm-hmm.
So it took us to be open minded to come here.
There
to
you
teach
go.
it, right? Because like when I was coming here, none of my friends ever, like, most of them never left the island. But I was traveling to the East Coast and everything. So I got, like, culturally, and I got to see way more, and I got to talk to people, and I got to learn more.
I think this is what I would do if I was in that situation. Let's say if I wanted to get a house in Hawaii, figure out the kind of house I want to buy, see what the average price point is, and reverse engineer everything. What I mean by that is figure out home cost is $800,000, let's just say, condo, townhome, whatever. Like, that's what I want. I want to live here. I don't want to move. This is my cost of living and all that. The question is, how much is the mortgage? How much is the cost of living? Just say 12 grand a month, right? So how you reverse engineer it is now you take a look at how do you make that kind of money to make 12 grand a month? And that's basically all you have to do, right? Because if you're working at Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever it is, you already know you're not going to make that kind of money. So if you know you need to make 12 grand a month, what can you actually do today to make 12 grand a month? Because making 12 grand a month is not as hard as people think it is. The hard part is doing the work, right? Because a lot of people just don't want to do the work. Because we live in a society today where it's all entitlement.
Yeah.
They expect it. So that's where it starts. Because online, do you think right now if you wanted to start an online business, you could make at least 12 grand a month?
Yeah.
There you go. What about yourself?
Yeah, there's a few things I could do.
And you guys are already doing it, right? So that's where I say it just goes back to the mindset. Now, there are people out there that are just comfortable because if you take a look, a lot of people in Hawaii the culture is not the same. Over there's more like family, aloha. It's a very tight unit.
Yeah.
Here is fucking rat race. Like we're moving quick. And that's okay. But it's two different lifestyles. But I do have clients that live there, that had a house there, and they just realized like, you know what? I want to retire. I want to explore more. I'm in a position now where, dude, I'm going to make $800,000 cash on this home.
Yeah.
And if you're telling me I can buy a home out here for $485 cash, I still got some money, you know, we can reposition and retire.
That's what my parents do. They come here for 3 months, 4 months. They go back home to Hawaii. They come back. They travel. They kind of just do their thing.
I think the question is, how do you fix a traffic problem?
No fix. The rail.
You got to make it like Japan, bro. Make it expensive to get your license.
Oh, really?
It's $10,000 to get your license.
Oh, really?
I mean, just the highway system in America is so different from many other countries, right? They're all mass transit.
They do have a good transit system. That's why in
Yeah.
Japan, heavily populated, not too many people have their license, so most of them catch.
Yeah,
transit.
I was having a conversation with Augie T once about the traffic, and I was telling him that maybe if everybody's going to town, because a lot of people work in town, right? Now, certain jobs should be required to start at a certain time, not all at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning. So depending on retail, you start at 10. Construction, you start at 3, whatever's. So that way now you can control the flow of traffic better.
The traffic is fucking crazy. But there's places that's one way in, one way out.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes I hate fucking making a right turn. Now I gotta make another fucking right turn. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like if you live in Waianae, it's one way. If you live in Macau, one way in, one way out, bro. There's no way of getting around that.
But if you take a look at the population, you see exactly within that zip code, where do people actually work? You do a survey, right? Let's just say 40% work in town. Out of that 40%, who's doing construction? Who's doing retail, right? Then now you can say, hey, look, for retail stores, you don't open until this time, or they don't start until this time.
Japan, they start their days late over there. They don't start early. Only like when I noticed when I was over there, I get up early in the morning. Like the people picking up trash, all those people are out early in the morning, and then the business guys come out like 10, 11 o'clock during the day in the morning. So it's like all like staggered.
I was gonna say, I seen you've been hitting the gym lately, huh?
I'm trying to get back in shape.
Because you was fucking yoked at one point.
Yeah.
Why are you hitting the gym again?
Because I was already feeling like a slob when I've been in. I was in shape my whole life, and I started feeling like a slob, and then I just never had time to get back in there, and then I sold the trucking, and then now I have that time. But and it kind of was like life shit happened, so my priorities changed.
Yeah.
But now I got back in the gym.
You doing more fitness, or you like lifting?
I'm just trying to get back in shape, and then I'm gonna go back into like heavy lifting.
Oh, got it. What about you, Justin? You doing that?
I run a lot now. I'll still hit the bag a lot, and I'll lift like maybe 3-4 days a week now. Not nowhere near as much when I played like college football and whatnot.
This guy was a monster, bro.
I was
in
like
college.
230. Yeah,
Get the fuck out. You was 230
huge.
pounds?
And
like
when he was in
lean too.
college.
Yeah, I was huge.
Dude.
He was like 230 with abs, and I was like, he showed me a picture. I was like, what the fuck? Because I always knew when he was already like a leaner.
I fought at
Justin.
150 too. That's why.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know how you do the fighting thing, man. Like, I'm like, y'all can keep that shit. I'll watch it from the bleachers.
Yeah.
Well, our other co-host Puni, he's in the middle of camp right now. He fights what
Today, right?
Is it today? No, next week. Next week.
Oh,
Thursday.
next week.
He fights next week Thursday,
Uh-huh.
and I'm thinking he ends up in the UFC later this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really good.
Dude, there's a lot of scrappers in Oahu, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but everybody likes to fight. Like, if you grow up, you gonna get into a fight.
Yeah.
Like, I probably got into like 16 fights.
Yeah, like Puni is like one of those like he just comes in, shows us videos like, oh, this guy was calling me out in the parking lot, so I had to fight him, and I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Fighting some like
And
he's
he
like
was huge.
he fights at 125.
Yeah.
And he's like 5'5".
This guy was like 220,
220, 230, 6'3", 6'4".
big motherfucker, bro. And I was like, what are you doing, bro?
Dude, that's insane. I'm too scared to fight.
Yeah.
I don't want to get hit in the face.
No
But
celebrity boxing.
you be in the gym too. I seen you got really lean.
Yeah, not anymore. Had to bulk up a little bit.
It's a lot of work. That's why too. Yeah.
No, it is, and the food that you got to eat and
Yeah.
stuff like that is such. That's like 80% of it. You know what I'm saying?
How lean did you end up getting?
Down to 8% body fat.
Wow,
shredded,
like
yeah.
super
But
like
yeah, but the problem was I did that, but then I dropped down to like 160,
uh-huh.
and I was just like, fuck, I'm too
You
skinny.
don't,
Did you
you don't
feel
feel
weak?
sluggish when you was down there.
Dude, you do.
Yeah.
So I did that
And
because
what, your vision never got blurry.
oh yeah,
My vision, bro. When you get like, and I get like that, my vision would get blurry, and you feel really sluggish.
but I did that because I knew I was going to Hawaii.
That's what I'm cutting right now. It's pool season.
yeah.
So I did that because I already knew like, hey, when I go to Hawaii, I'm gonna fucking pound
Take my
food.
shirt off too.
Oh yeah, that too. But
Yeah.
anyway, dude, I gained up to like 185, but I knew I was gonna do that anyway.
How long and how long of a span?
Fuck, it only took me like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I was fucking pounding fucking food, and when I got back, I was already like 185, just like looking like shit. But I already knew I was gonna bulk up anyway.
It's a lot, bro. It's a
Yeah.
lot of work to be.
It's like a whole
yeah.
game, dude, and it's like you don't just stay at one level. You know what I mean? So
Bro, I got remember I got down to the 190, and then we were working out, so I was like, because I just kind of like got back into. I was just doing the cardio thing,
Yeah.
dropping weight. Then I got back into working out, and then like I was doing the classes. Like fuck, I'm like getting ran over. Like everybody's stronger. Everybody's endurance is way better. They can lift more. So I was like fuck. So I started like juicing a little bit more. then I was like, I found a bottle of Anadrol in my fucking my cabinet. So I fucking started taking the Anadrol. Bro, I went from 190 last week, and I'm like 203 right now in like 1 week.
damn.
But I feel way stronger. I feel strong as I got way stronger.
Do you retain more water on that
Yeah.
too, or okay?
What about cardio though? You get
I
gas
do,
out
I
pretty
do
quick.
half an hour every night on the
Oh, that's-
Stairmaster.
okay, that's
But
pretty
has it dropped since that?
No, I'm still doing it in the same amount of time, but I definitely sweating way more when
The
I'm on it.
Stairmaster, you burn a lot of calories quick.
I do 400 calories, like at least 400.
Yeah, like I know it's like running on the treadmill, man. It fucking takes forever, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
rather
fuck this.
I rather jump on the Stairmaster,
Get
crank
out
it
of
up,
the way,
and just
yeah.
get it out of the way.
Yeah.
How long would that take you on the Stairmaster? 400 calories.
I do it in 30.
You can,
Actually,
you can do that in
well,
running though.
I actually do it.
Oh no,
um,
you got to be fucking running. You're probably
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're
No,
running
you
like
can do it faster,
9
but
miles an hour or
I'm not
something. Like
trying
you're
to-
running, dude, or something.
I'm not trying to
something
get
like that,
on-
like 7-minute miles, 7:15, something like that.
But I'm not trying to get on the Stairmaster and put it straight to level 10. You know what I mean? I get on there, I put it at 6. Then every
Build your way
5
up.
minutes, I go to 7. Another 5 minutes, I go to 8. Another 5 minutes, I go to 9. And then once I get to 20 minutes, I put it on 10. And then that's the end of it.
Don't you hate like when you get started? You're like, fuck. Then you're like at 200 calories. You're like,
Oh,
fuck.
yeah, that shit sucks so bad.
Then after that, like once you get over the hump, the mindset just changes. You're like, oh yeah,
I
it's
should
gonna
do
be
that
real.
extra 100 calories.
Yeah. What's
Bro,
the most you ever done?
my hardest thing is giving up the soda.
Well,
we
what
always
kind of
talk
soda
about
you
this.
drink?
Coca-Cola.
Why don't you just drink the Coke Zero?
No, it has to be a Coca-Cola, like a regular Coca-Cola.
Oh, really?
It has to be.
Doesn't that shit have like 42 grams of sugar?
Someone I seen a thing where it said like every Coca-Cola you drink is a 1 day off your lifespan. but I was drinking that, and the next day I drank
Instead
another
of
one.
88, the average lifespan, now you're down to like 68.
No, I saw that ad and I was just like, fuck it. I was drinking my sauce. I said, fuck it. I'm drinking one tomorrow too. Anyway, fuck it. It tastes so
you know
good.
what? My guilty pleasure now, I'll drink the Cokes from the restaurant. Because they're the Mexican
tastes way
Cokes,
better.
which is just
Yeah,
sugar,
it
right?
tastes
There's
way
no
better.
high fructose corn syrup or any other dyes.
Is that the one
in
out
it.
of the bottle you're talking about?
Yeah. If it's
Yeah.
bottled in Mexico, it's just sugar.
Yeah.
It tastes a lot better.
Way
Yeah,
better.
way better.
It used to have cocaine in that shit.
Yeah. The original ones, right?
Yeah, imagine if you fucking had cocaine now.
Oh, bro, we drop calories real quick.
130 resting
But that's
heartbeat.
the hardest thing for me to give up is the Coca-Cola.
But you eating a lot of rice?
No.
Low carb?
Yeah. Or I only eat carbs with
Or
my...
do you have your macro
in
split
my
right now?
in my breakfast and my first meal.
Ooh.
But I can go without carbs. It's not too bad.
You ever did fasting? Like I've been fasting a lot recently.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not good for you because it eats up your muscles. You know what I mean?
If you're trying to get muscle, yeah.
Yeah, because there's no sense of building muscle and trying to fast. But I've done fasting a couple times. Like I went over to what's it called? Press Juice.
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
heard of that? And I'll buy a couple bottles of that and do like a 48-hour fast. So like every 2 hours, I'll drink one of those. Then on the 3rd hour, then I'll go ahead and drink water. 4th hour, I'll take another one of those bottles. But you're just cleaning out your system. But within 48 hours, you fucking drop like 8 to 10 pounds. But you're just like...
I was thinking about just doing that colonic because you can drop like 20 pounds.
What is that though?
It just flushes out all your intestines.
You gotta shove something up your butt though,
Yeah.
right?
You got to take like a bunch
warm
of
water.
pills. You shit it all out. And then...
Oh, that's the one that shut the tube in your ass, I think.
Yeah. You want to
I
do
saw
that?
Usher was doing it and he said it's really healthy for you. So I was like, fuck you, maybe I'll try it. And you bust, I think you like lose like 20 pounds.
Well, I think
when
you need to
go.
do a colonoscopy around 40, 42
Yeah.
or some shit like that.
They
But it's
still do
supposed to
that?
be, there's
Yeah.
supposed to be like in your intestines, there's shit in there that hasn't came out for like, it's been in there for years.
I don't
But
know how
the-
true this is, but they had an article where when Elvis died, this motherfucker had like 18 pounds of that shit
Yeah,
all
I've
in
heard
his
that.
colon, yeah, because he didn't do that
Yeah.
shit. But it can also cause like PODS, cancer. So it's actually
Like
really
the pocket,
good.
it forms pockets and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's what like Ozempic's like. They're having some
Bone
issues with it.
density.
Well, that and like it slows the hell out of your digestive tract. So if like you're around people that are on Ozempic, like their burps are like,
Stink.
it's like death. It smells so
you
bad.
know people that
I know
are taking
a
it?
few people on Ozempic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the side effects, I don't think that shit's worth it though.
No, it's definitely just
Yeah,
don't
that
eat.
one
Just
girl has
have
like bone density decreased.
Ariana Grande and like a bunch of people actually, but
I think I seen her on a picture. She looked like Skeletor and shit.
yeah.
You can tell when somebody's on it. They just like,
Have you seen Christina Aguilera? Like
No, I
she got, you know how she got kind of big and chunky. Like she's smaller than when she made her hit songs.
you like Christina Aguilera better or Britney Spears?
Oh, fucking Britney Spears, dog. I like a
Bald
chunky
Britney
little
Spears?
Britney Spears,
or
but
long
only when
hair?
she's 17. You know what
Long
I'm
hair
saying?
Britney Spears or bald Britney Spears?
I want to
Okay.
bald that
I like-
shit
How's
up.
about this? Bony chicks or girls that are thick?
Wait. Like fat or thick?
Like thick.
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 Yeah, is that a hard one?
Well, some
Well,
people
some guys like
bony,
skinny girls.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I like petite,
petite.
Okay.
but I like thick.
Nah, I like thick, dude.
Yeah.
Like my baby mom was like, she's like a 105-pound Korean girl,
Uh-huh.
and then recently got into some Latinas that are amazing.
Okay. How's about this? Jennifer Lopez.
J Lo,
Oh,
J Lo's alright.
You want to hit that shit?
I
Yeah,
would.
of course, but
Oh.
like,
But
it's
she
not
has
like
an
like,
attitude.
alright.
She has an attitude problem the way I heard.
Well,
I
you
have-
ain't fucking her
Yeah,
attitude.
yeah.
I have hit some things now that I'm like, how did I? Why'd you do that with me?
Hey, did you ever hit some shit where you didn't want to tell your friend? It's like riding a moped, but not telling him.
All your friends got an elite and you got the Raz. Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
at least you could fucking commute though.
At least you had a ride.
Get to you where you gotta go.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we get out of here, can you tell everybody where they can find you on your YouTube and now your Instagram that's starting to pop off?
Just Google Chuck It CHAKITS. I'm all over social media, so should pop up.
Social media, YouTube.
Yeah. Just Google it and you'll find one of those fucking pages.
Perfect. Well, appreciate you so much coming on. I look forward to doing it again sometime.
All right. We're
Still
done.
French Episode 104. See you guys next time.